not only me, but my co-founders as well, understood how important was to create a culture inside our company. So your company culture is really, really important, because you create loyalty, you create amazing people. Well, you attract amazing people and get them to stay with you and get them really happy every day to be there. So if you go to our office, it's really kind of bright orange on purpose, and there's like a nice room of people can just play games at the lunchtime, and they do that. So it's a little bit of research and playtime. So I think these are the things that you understand much better when you go and become an employer, as opposed to when you are an employee of a large organization.
Develop the culture.
Develop the culture, exactly.
You're challenged with, it could be from the finances, it could be marketing, it could be purely resources of getting people on board. So it's a multitude of things, because when just to give you an idea, from a manufacturing point of view, what we did is we actually started to build the products in the UK. Suddenly we didn't have a business model. We had to go to Singapore. And then from Singapore, we actually moved to China eventually. In order for it to be competing with the rest of the global market, we had to be in China. So, your boundaries are pushed. You just have to see how the overall business structure is going to work. At the end of the day, if you haven't got a business model, you're going to have to push your barriers further than the comfort zone, which is what we had to do. Because at the end of the day, it's the bottom figure that you're looking at, and you need to report to your investors, and you need to bring those figures in as well and enjoy at the same time, because you are enjoying that journey, whether it's good or bad.
Would you like to talk a little bit about Triage?
Yeah, sure. So to give you a bit of background, the Triage is one of the working groups it's part of TLA. I'd go to a lot of meetups and a lot of events, and I'd speak to a lot of people, and there was a huge amount of enthusiasm, but when you're a startup, you kind of either learn by failing, or hopefully you pick a few things up along the way. But it doesn't necessarily need to be that hard, and sometimes a bit of advice or a bit of tough love here and there can actually make a huge amount of difference to somebody as they're in the early stages of their business. And so the Triage is what it became, is like a hospital triage. We have a desk based out of Tech Hub in campus. You come and you ask somebody a handful of questions, they'll figure out who the best advocate you need to speak with, and we've got 150 people that they can put you in touch with to go and have a half an hour of that person's time for free to get an answer to your question, so you can progress onto the next stage of whatever you need to do, and you can use it as often as you want. And it seemed like a sensible thing to do, because obviously there's nothing worse than sort of squandered enthusiasm and squandered talent. So if the problem is there's a lack of knowledge, then why not use the experience of the people in the community to fill that lack of knowledge with the sorts of things that can help people progress.